Today, I worked an 8-hour shift. Then I came home, opened my computer, and clocked in all over again. Not because I'm getting paid any overtime, but because my fake supermarket needed restocking. And I know you can relate. Be honest, if I offered you a promotion at your real-life job, or one uninterrupted week with Power Wash Simulator and all of its DLC, which one would you really be more excited about? Simulation games have never been more popular. These virtual experiences offer you everything from the ability to fly a plane to the opportunity to perform questionable surgery, become an interstellar truck driver, or even work in a supermarket. Suddenly, seemingly mundane experiences, like power washing the outside of a building, or restocking the shelves of your local card game shop, trust me, I've done this one for real, are exciting, captivating, and much more fun than your real-life job ever could be. So, why do we care more about these virtual jobs than our real ones? I don't think we're addicted to the escapism, I think we're addicted to something else. Have you ever booted up a copy of The Sims, excited to build your dream house, only to realize moments later that it's dark outside, you've missed 2 meals, and you really have to pee? This happens to me more often than I'd like to admit. But why? What is it about these games that makes me excited to stock digital shelves for 8 hours, but dread my regular 9 to 5 that actually pays me? You know, with real money. I don't know about you, but I didn't choose the kind of prestigious and interesting career that most 7-year-olds dream of. I'm terrified of flying, so I think I'd make a pretty bad pilot. And while I love a good medical drama, I'm not sure I have what it takes to dedicate 15 years of my life to becoming the next Meredith Grey. Somebody sedate me! Luckily for me, I don't have to, because simulation games have got me covered. It takes over 3 years of training and $100,000 to become a commercial airline pilot. And even then, you still have to work your way up the ranks to fly the biggest planes, make long-haul journeys, or have any say over your final destination. But for the low price of $69.99, I can download a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator and pilot a 747 full of passengers straight to Tokyo. And while decidedly less serious, Surgeon Simulator also allows you to try an elite career for practically nothing compared to the cost of medical school. Wait, is that a hammer? This is the fantasy that simulation games offer us. The opportunity to try on a different life as easily as a new t-shirt, with no costs, no training, and only minimal risk of a loan shark taking my kneecaps. I don't actually have to commit to anything. Instead, I can spend a few weeks building an entire hospital from scratch, indulge my curiosity in what my life would be like if I was a pilot, and since I've invested hours instead of years, I'm free to give in to the whims of my boredom and change my virtual career at any time. Plus, I'll still have enough money left over to make different bad financial decisions instead, and spend my spare cash on plushies instead of training. As well as being able to sample prestigious and well-respected careers, simulators also offer us something else, a glimpse of the impossible. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a goat? Well, wonder no more, because Goat Simulator gives you the opportunity to see what life is really like as a goat. It's exactly what it sounds like. Unless your name is Gandalf, this isn't just difficult to achieve in real life, it's impossible. The ability to immerse yourself inside the life of a goat, just for the fun of it, is too tempting to ignore. And as a goat, this particular simulation game encourages you to cause as much chaos as possible. Headbutt, lick, and destroy your way through a virtual town in an experience that's so unique, you'll forget all of your real-life problems in no time. Games like Star Trucker, while slightly closer to reality than pretending to be an actual goat, also feel this need to experience a reality that's entirely different to our own. Sometimes, other realities are just cooler. I will probably never go to space. I get extremely motion sick for one thing, so the odds aren't great. However, pretending to be an interstellar truck driver for 8 hours without blinking allows me to become a part of a futuristic sci-fi world in a way that's much more immersive than watching a TV show or a movie. It's the closest I'll ever get to going off-world, and it's pretty good. These impossible experiences are made possible from the comfort of our laptops, tablets, and phones, and allow us to try something completely different, or trade our regular problems for goat problems. if only for a little while. And even though I'm only playing a game, I feel really productive. Like I'm learning the secret skills that are passed down from goat generation to goat generation, or genuinely earning my heavy vehicle driving license. I'm pretty sure that 12 hours of Star Trucker qualifies me to drive a 2-ton truck across the country. Just don't tell anyone that I find it difficult to parallel park a Mini Cooper. But what is so fun about doing something really mundane? Why would anyone spend hours of their unpaid leisure time stocking shelves in a supermarket or cleaning someone's house? Imagine you work in a supermarket, and for your entire last shift, you didn't charge a single customer for anything. The shelves are now barren, and you've given away almost your entire stock for free. But you show up the next day, your job still intact, and without being arrested for theft. How is this possible? Because you're playing Supermarket Simulator, and in the simulator, the consequences are nothing like the real world. Across every genre of simulation game, from stupid to super realistic, the one thing that ties them all together and makes them a relaxing or cathartic experience is that there are no consequences, no matter how big your mistake. Give a customer the wrong coffee order? No problem. Miss a spot while cleaning that building? Try again. Crash your helicopter into the Eiffel Tower? Don't worry, you're not dead and you aren't going to prison. You're free to push the boundaries of life, or simply enjoy finishing a task without fear of harming others or accidentally upsetting your manager. Call me antisocial, but my favorite part of games like Supermarket Simulator is the lack of real people. There are no customers asking stupid questions, no colleagues to make small talk with, and above all else, no manager breathing down my neck, making me feel as though I deserve to be fired for not restocking the Cheerios 5% faster.
Please, come again. When I'm not working.
Grand Theft Auto is fun and all, but if you've never simulated doing a minimum wage job, where there are no consequences for actually doing a task in a normal amount of time, then you simply haven't lived. Sure, you might be docked some in-game currency, or have to restart a level, but these penalties are nothing compared to the real-life consequences you'd face for doing the same thing. Whether it's being able to practice breaking the Hippocratic Oath without a medical license, or the simple pleasures of being able to rearrange the cereal aisle at your leisure. Free from the pressure of avoiding getting it wrong, you're able to experiment with strategies, try new things, and unwind in a reality where you don't have crippling perfectionism. A far cry from my experience in my first real-world job. I remember it well. Freshly 19, I was in desperate need of money to pay for my crippling League of Legends skin addiction. Fortunately, my local board game cafe took me in. I showed up for my first day, excited, thinking, finally, I'm a real adult now, only to be slapped in the face with a 9-hour shift that was nothing like I had expected. Because what no one ever tells you before you get a job is that no one really trusts you to do what you've been hired to do. You're not hired to make decisions, you're hired to exist near decisions. You aren't given any actual autonomy, you're micromanaged, as much as physically possible.
A more micro form of management. Jim, what is that called?
Microregiment?
Boom. Yes.
Not in the cute, just making sure you're okay way, in the, why did you stack the Monopoly boxes like that way? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize there was a morally correct orientation for Monopoly. My bad. In a simulation game, you have all the power. No one hovers behind you in Power Wash Simulator, going, are you sure that's the optimal hose angle? Because you have autonomy. It's your power wash business. You own the supermarket, bookshop, or water park, so you can do whatever you want. Initiative and creativity aren't just rewarded, they're encouraged. You can design your farm however you want, upgrade your space truck however you see fit, and refuse to serve customers who look at you a little bit funny. It's always clear what you have to do, and you're actually rewarded for doing it. While in the real world, you're rewarded for getting to the end of a really long line of customers with another really long line of customers. Ask me how I know. Can you remember the last time your real-world boss said well done to you? I can't, but I can remember the last time I was told to get back to work for daring to take a 5-minute break. It's not that we don't find it fun or rewarding, serving coffee, stocking shelves, or cleaning up. It's that in real life, these tasks often come with stressful time limits, difficult people, and disproportionate rewards, which makes it hard to get the same level of enjoyment that simulation games give so freely. If I could choose when I worked, what I did, and maybe make the supermarket I worked in pink and cute instead of grey and depressing, then maybe my real-life job would feel more rewarding. But what about when real life becomes too much?
Rage, fury, irritation, humiliation.
That never-ending line of real customers has finally gotten to you, and you find yourself wishing you could hit pause. For escapism, simulation games are super effective. Even if you spent your entire day working on a real farm, you would probably still find it fun to come home and work on your fake one. Because no matter how similar your real life is to your simulated one, it still feels good to trade your problems for different ones. Doing repetitive tasks in-game is like a cheat code for your brain that gives you instant access to a flow state. And while you're in that flow state, the stresses of your day-to-day start to melt away. Instead, you're focused on buying more seeds, harvesting your wheat crop, or coming up with a really good name for your new cow. You're still challenged, but it never becomes too much, allowing you to experience the highs and lows of work and achievement, but at a much lower intensity than your real-world emotions. Not only does this provide you with an immersive distraction, but it also serves as an opportunity to help you regulate your emotions. By microdosing you with challenge and reward, you can start to process your difficult emotions in a way that feels safe. Accidentally ordering too much cereal doesn't feel like the apocalypse that it would in real life. Instead, you're given the chance to work through your feelings of shame or embarrassment, because even though you made a mistake, in the simulator, it doesn't really matter. Simulation games don't remove your struggles, but they can shrink them down to a size that you can handle. Even arguing about who missed a spot in Power Wash Simulator multiplayer
Consistently, you guys kinda suck at explaining stuff, honestly.
doesn't feel like a relationship-ending disaster. Maybe I'm just introverted, but socializing inside the safety of a co-op simulation game feels much easier than the real world. The pressure of making small talk with colleagues dissipates under the experience of working towards a shared goal, even if you barely know the people you're playing with. Working a fake farm with strangers feels much easier than bonding with the people you actually work with, because simulation games don't just let you escape from your responsibilities, they let you escape the pressure of performing the version of yourself you think other people want to see. Inside the comfort of a simulation, where you can be anything, it feels much safer to be yourself. At work, I'm always overanalyzing what I've said, and living in a constant state of terror and self-consciousness. In a simulation game, everything is so much less serious. Little mistakes or quirks are just part of the fun, instead of the reason I lie awake at night until 2 a.m. Even when someone accidentally drives the tractor through your freshly planted pumpkins, it's just funny. Nobody gets mad, the farm and the relationships survive. When everyone is working together towards clear goals, free from real-world stress, that shared purpose makes connection feel effortless. But it's not just the complications of real-life jobs that make these games seem fun by comparison. Beneath the surface, simulation games use psychological mechanisms designed to keep you playing, and turn a 40-hour week working in a bookshop into a satisfying virtual experience that you'll pay money for. Serving customers, washing buildings, and stocking shelves. Have you ever noticed how repetitive these tasks are, and wondered why you aren't getting bored? In fact, it's usually the opposite. You want more. After all, repetitive tasks in real-world jobs often lead to mental fatigue, emotional disengagement, and are one of the biggest risk factors for burnout. But in the virtual world, for some reason you find yourself craving the simplicity of pricing goods, ordering new stock, and even paying fake bills. You heard me right. These systems are so good, they can even make paying your electricity bill fun. Developers know how to create a simple reward loop that hooks you in, invests your attention, and before you know it, you care more about saving up for the most expensive power wash gun than you do about eating, sleeping, or seeing your family again. Step 1 is action. Action is the hands-on work, the tasks that you do while playing. Power washing that van, serving customers at the cash register, harvesting crops, or flying that plane. You follow a clear set of instructions, and you see immediate feedback. Money goes up, dirt goes down, loaves of bread are back on the shelves, and you feel accomplished. Combined with sound effects, tactile feedback, and positive reinforcement, you feel satisfied from completing these simple tasks. But if that's all there was to it, just endlessly cleaning the same van, you would lose interest within the hour. Step 2. Management. Management tools double your satisfaction and give you the tools to reinvest your efforts. Using some of your hard-earned cash, you buy some new soap for your power washing business, or restock the snacks in your supermarket. You're given agency, and your actions start to matter. You can be strategic, purchasing upgrades that will earn you more money and allow you to make progress faster. Or you can skip the electricity bill and buy fun things instead. You start to feel a sense of purpose, but you still aren't really sure what you're working towards. That's where step 3 comes in. Expansion. Expansion gives you a path to new experiences that allow you to repeat this loop in a new way. Whether it's saving up for a freezer for your supermarket, or simply progressing to new and more difficult levels, having access to new content allows the gameplay to change over time. It's the same core gameplay loop, but layered with progression and subtle differences to keep it interesting and give you a reason to stay. You're no longer cleaning or ordering books arbitrarily, you're invested. Saving up for that expensive power wash gun, more space in your bookstore, or the opportunity to someday soon have the ability to sell fake ice cream to fake people. On a psychological level, you're manipulated into saying, just one more day, which turns into 2, and then 3, and then 4. Remember the last time you stayed up till 4 AM on a weekday because you just couldn't stop playing? Yeah. This is why. This gameplay cycle is designed to hook you in and continuously leave you wanting more. Because it doesn't just stop at fake ice cream. While you work on building the biggest, best, and most profitable supermarket the world has ever seen, you are kept invested by being fed smaller goals to achieve in between the larger and more obvious milestones. Inside the larger goal of completing the game or cleaning that patio, you're rewarded for every fence post, hubcap, and pond stone freed of dirt, and praised at every available opportunity. Every single action is positively reinforced, and you're constantly being reassured that you're going the right way. Something that is reluctantly missing from real life. I never know if professional feedback is constructive, or if I'm one mistake away from living off instant noodles for the foreseeable. There are no such concerns inside my power washing fantasy. Instead, there are clear progress bars, a rating system that tells you exactly how good you are at cleaning, and no looming threat of a noodle-based sabbatical. I know exactly what I'm doing, how well I'm doing it, and when I can expect my next reward. I know that I'm going to feel accomplished from running my fake supermarket for a week, but in my 9 to 5, it always feels like Groundhog Day. The short-term rewards are few and far between, and your long-term goal of saving for a house deposit is going to take 20 years of grinding just because you had the misfortune of not being born in the 60s. It helps, of course, that these simulation games exist in a dimension of time that is much faster than our own. You can live several weeks of your bookstore owner lifestyle inside a single real-life day. It doesn't really take you 6 hours to drive from Spain to England, and an entire family-sized house can be power washed in a matter of minutes. You get 7 days of satisfaction and payoff in a matter of minutes and hours, giving you all the benefits of real-life accomplishment in a condensed time frame with a fraction of the effort. The regularity of reward and the ability to achieve so much in so little time is what makes these games so addictive beyond the satisfaction of soapy patios and stocked shelves. They never feel like a grind, because your effort is paid back in recognition. And honestly, I think the pay rate's better too. So, what does it say about us that we prefer simulated cozy capitalism over real-life labor? If fake jobs are better than real ones, what does that mean? Do you remember what you thought having an adult job would be like as a child? Playing with plastic cash registers, fake fruits, and pop-up offices, I imagined something rewarding. In the make-believe, it was fun just to be included, and child me felt satisfied and accomplished completing my mundane tasks. This is why your fake job is so much more fun than your real one, because it feels like the version of work that we were promised. And I think it's the version of work we deserve. It's not that we are lazy, it's not that nobody wants to work anymore, it's that in the simulations, it's fair. In the simulations, I have autonomy, creativity, and the freedom to complete tasks how I see fit, without the fear of consequences. In real life, all my earnings go back into my rent, but in games, we're allowed to progress. We're given a clear path to follow, and given all the tools we need to succeed. Maybe what we really need isn't the simulation. It's to be treated with more kindness, rewarded fairly for our efforts, and given the resources to recover. What we need is the opportunity to work to live, instead of defaulting to living to work. If these fake jobs can teach us anything, it's that effort feels good when it's fair. Maybe we can't dismantle capitalism overnight, but we can start treating ourselves better. Noticing what makes us feel accomplished, being our own reward system, and valuing the progress we can make. Celebrating our short-term goals, and standing up against our inner and outer critics when we know that we're doing our best. You don't have to grind harder or quit your job. You just need to stop measuring your worth with your productivity. We can't always change our jobs, but we can change what we count as progress, and change the effort that we put into our grind for things that will actually provide a return on our investment, like friends, family, or yourself, instead of giving everything you've got to a boss who still can't remember your name after 3 years. It's Jasmine, not Yasmin. Or you can disassociate at your real job and get your sense of achievement from running a fake bookstore instead. I'm not going to micromanage you.